to Pioneer Potatoes. They own the farmland behind me, and they say they had to leave portions of it unharvested because of the early rainfall last fall. Here in Western Washington, the fall season typically looks like this. September is the driest, averaging 1.5 inches of rain. Then October, averaging 3.5 inches of rain. And then November being the wettest, averaging 6.5 inches of rain. This last fall, it flip-flopped, and September was unusually wet, and the early start to the rainy season saturated the soil, forcing many farmers to leave acres unharvested.
Everything along this side is stuff we haven't harvested yet, probably lost at this point.
Wiley Tulin with Pioneer Potatoes points out farmland that he was unable to harvest last fall, about 100 acres of his 700-acre farm, because of heavy rainfall.
It's tough when you leave the acres more than you want, and then also when you don't really have any control over it.
He's not alone. According to Washington State University's Skagit County Extension, an estimated 2,000 acres of potatoes went unharvested this season in Skagit County, resulting in farmers' losses between $5 to $10 million.
It's just tough because, you know, usually we get a really nice September, we get a lot out, and then you go into November and you're feeling pretty good.
But last September was unusually wet. October also saw above normal rainfall, and then an unusually dry November.
November was a real blessing. If November had been as wet as September, it would have been a bad deal.
Tulin says bad growing seasons could impact seed prices down the road, but is just thankful that the market for potatoes was good this time around.
Talking to most farmers, everybody is feeling pretty blessed and lucky with what we got out. We look back on it and think it could have been worse, but for most of us, and we get to keep going next year. It's like being a Coug fan. There's always next year.
And farmers are hoping for good growing seasons because the U.S. and China just reached an agreement to allow immediate access to China for U.S. potatoes. So Washington, Idaho, and Oregon can start exporting potatoes to China. Washington State ranks second in the nation, only behind Idaho in potato production. Live in LaConner, Grace Lim, Q13 News.
I didn't know that. All right, Grace.